Hi, I'm Dr. Druv and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is a channel not on medicine, but on all the other aspects needed to live our medicine lives. Today, we're going to be talking about the concept of segregated funds, and I don't think I'll be able to do justice to this large topic in 5 or even 10 minutes. But having said that, this is a primer in my series of YouTube videos to explain these complex topics. So what are segregated funds? Why should physicians know about them and how you could utilize them? Essentially, segregated funds are a type of investment product offered by insurance companies. They're similar to mutual funds in that they allow investors to pool their money together to invest into a variety of assets such as stocks and bonds. So very similar to index funds, very similar to mutual funds, except that the segregated funds are sold by insurance companies rather than banks or other financial companies. Segregated funds have an added layer of protection in that they are considered an insurance product, which means that they can come with certain guarantees and protections for investors. So for example, it's commonly quoted that the S&P 500 has about 7, 8, or 9% annualized return over the long run. But let us say, for the sake of argument, that COVID happened or whatever, there's a market correction and the stock market drops by 30%. So a segregated fund will allow you to participate in the upside depending on the contract. But if the market drops by 33%, and if you were to, let's say, choose a particular product that protects 75% of your original investment, and for whatever reason you wanted to cash out or withdraw your money rather than just stay in for the long run because life happens, then you would essentially get 75% of your invested capital. So if you invested $100,000, market actually went down by 30%, so it's actually only worth $70,000. You would get $75,000 back because the insurance will allow you to protect 75% of the principal. Now, obviously, if the market goes up and your $100,000 becomes $120,000, and at that point, depending on the contract, you can withdraw or you get a deposit into your account, then you would make the full $120,000. So it essentially offers an upside potential as well as a downside protection, but there are some cons, specifically higher fees associated with segregated funds. And that's why I'm going to create one other video on the effect of fees. So why are segregated funds important to know? Well, as a physician, your income is tied to your ability to work. So if you become injured or ill and are unable to work, your income could be significantly impacted. So segregated funds offer an added layer of protection in the event that something unexpected happens. They offer certain guarantees such as guaranteed minimum death benefit, as well as a guaranteed minimum maturity value, which can help protect your investments and provide financial security for you and your loved ones. How can physicians use segregated funds? Well, physicians can use these segregated funds to protect their investments and provide financial security for themselves and their loved ones. When selecting segregated funds, it is important to look for funds that offer the right balance of growth potential and protection. This will depend on your individual investment goals and risk tolerance, and these funds, because they're sold by insurance companies, are sold through the agents of the insurance companies, such as insurance agents. And they may not be, or most likely will not be, sold by your banks unless they are double licensed, because you need different licenses to sell these different products. So for a mutual fund, you need to have a mutual fund license, and for a segregated fund, you need to have an insurance license. And the important thing to look at when you're choosing these segregated funds, as I mentioned, is to read the fine print. I can't emphasize this more because these are more complex. The underlying asset may be very similar to your mutual fund or index fund, but there is some complexity added to them, which the insurance company adds in order to essentially guarantee you that principal amount. Because in a mutual fund, that principal is not guaranteed and you're essentially taking on the risk. Whereas in this case, the insurance company is offering that guarantee, but because it's offering that guarantee, it has a higher fees associated with it. It's not necessarily, the two funds may not be very similar because the stocks are chosen by the insurance company rather than the banks or the investment fund manager, although there is a fund manager inside the insurance company, but they have a mandate as set by the insurance company. So that you need to understand and look into those various aspects. You simply can't pick up a fund fact sheets and then pick up a fund fact sheets from the segregated fund and say that these two are similar. For example, let's say you're a physician who's concerned about protecting your investments in the event of a market downturn. You could consider investing in a segregated fund that offers a guaranteed minimum maturity value. So the common things they say out there is 75%, which is that 75% of the principal is protected in a market downturn, with a 75% or 100% death benefit, which is if you pass away, then your investment will be given to you either 75% of its original investment or 100% of its original investment as a death benefit, tax-free, because it is a life insurance or insurance product in that sense based on the legislation. Now, obviously, there's a lot of moving parts here. I can't summarize all of them, but hopefully this will help you kind of start the ball on researching more into this particular product. This particular product would ensure that even if the value of investment drops, you would receive a guaranteed minimum payout at the end of a specific period of time. Generally, these contracts are 10 to 15 years, so this is not something I would recommend for 1, 2, or even 5 years. So in conclusion, segregated funds are an important investment product for physicians to consider when looking to protect their investments and provide financial security for themselves and their loved ones. By understanding what segregated funds are and how they work, physicians can make informed decisions and achieve their financial goals. If you're a physician and are interested in learning more about segregated funds, I encourage you to speak to a licensed insurance advisor or financial advisor who has experience in these, because not many people have experience in these products. And generally, there is some negativity associated with these products because something you don't understand, you tend to put down. So try to attend educational seminars, and that's what I'm doing. I'm actually attending a few educational seminars as well as going to these large insurance company meetings in order to educate myself. And hopefully I wish to educate you. So a few action items: if you'd like to follow the exact frameworks used by affluent physicians to take back control of their time and money, then check out the link in the description below. I make these videos because my mission is to help fight burnout in 10,000 physicians, and these videos are kind of a legacy for that in your wealth building journey. And I had hoped for someone to hold my hand through this journey as well. Come and join my community of like-minded physicians in my free Facebook group, where I share resources, cheat sheets, calculators, and everything in between to live our best medicine lives. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for taking the time to learn about this complex topic. Thank you for taking care of your patients, and I'll see you in the next episode.